welcome to the stream. Just getting set up here. Shouts out to everyone in the chat. Tuska Musikas, Pesix, Avishek. How you guys doing? Shouts out to all the ADSR family. Everyone in the background helping out. What's up? What's going on? Good to see you. Or good to be here again. I was away for just a week, little break, but I am back and excited to be back to host today's show. So once again, my name is STRANJAH. I'll be your host for the next 60 minutes or so, and we're going to be demoing a couple new plugins and some awesome sound packs. We're going to be doing some vocal liquid drum and bass. Really excited to do this track today. So shouts out to everyone in the chat. Let me know if you're into liquid drum and bass. Do you guys know what liquid drum and bass is? And yeah, so as you can see on my screen, these are the plugins we're going to be going through today. Let me just minimize the screen so you guys can see it all together. And let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Oh, I have feedback on my mic. Oh, let me fix that. My apologies. I can see that happening right now. Except I can't hear it myself. Okay. Check. Okay, let me know if that's better now. I was doing some recording for a new demo of my jungle kit the other day. I left my microphone on, so let me know if that is better now. Sorry for the echo. All right, we're online. Awesome. Okay, so once again, my name is STRANJAH. I'll be your host for the next hour, and we got a couple plugins that we're playing with today, as well as some sample packs. I'm going to be doing some vocal liquid drum and bass, and really excited to do this style today. I got some cool sounds prepped up for today's show. So shouts out, let me know if you guys are familiar or if you guys are into liquid drum and bass. It's a favorite genre of mine. I love just putting it in the background. It's great music to just chill to, meditate to, even drive to, even dance to. It's summer vibes. Shouts out to all the ADSR family. Thanks to everyone in the background helping out. And shouts out to everyone in the live chat. Thanks, Yavin, for the feedback. Tuska, Max, what's up? So yeah, on my screen here, I just have the plugins that we're going to be using today. So this is a pack best of Noiseash, and it got 3 plugins in this package. There's a vocal finalizer, there's a stereo finalizer, and then there's a speaker simulator. Okay, so we'll just go through quickly what each one is. Stereo finalizer is kind of like a stereo widener with a couple different analog modeling or types, as well as a couple different additional effects to expand and make things sound more wider, increase the dimension, for lack of better terms. SpeakerSim Simulator is a great tool to kind of check your mix or master across different virtual systems. So you may want to check your mix and see if it sounds good on a phone, right? Or on a TV system, or on different sets of speakers and systems. So this is a great tool. If you don't have additional speakers in your living space, then you can use this as a simulator and see if certain sounds are coming through across different systems, which is very important when you're mixing and mastering a track. For example, some subharmonic frequencies that we use in bass lines may not come through on an iPhone, for example. So this tool helps us get a gauge on where we're at with our mix. Okay, and then finally, there is the Vocal Finalizer, which is a vocal effect, which includes a number of different effects inside. So a lot of the go-to tools that we need to process vocals, such as compression, EQ, de-esser, doubler, delay, reverb. It just gives you a quick way to add that onto your vocals and spice it up. So we're going to be using all three of these today. And then I'm going to be using a sound pack from Black Octopus, one of my favorite sound pack companies. They have this pack called London Liquid and lots of awesome sounds and MIDI files in this pack. So excited to use this. And then I'm going to be spicing that up with some vocal bits from this pack from 7 Sounds called Vocal Hook Stars. All right, so that's what we're going to be going through today. Let me know in the chat, how are you guys all doing? How is the weather where you're at? It's a very sunny day out here in Toronto, and I'm looking forward to getting outside after the stream. Maybe go for a little bike ride. Let me know what you guys are going to be up to today. All right, so straight into Ableton. And okay, so I just pulled in a bunch of sounds. We're going to just start using the Black Octopus MIDI clips. So I'm just show you what's inside the Black Octopus MIDI clips here. Here it is. So they have their sounds split up by, well, pretty standard categories. But what I really like about this pack is, for example, if you expand on the piano chords, they provide you wave samples. And these are very lush piano chords, so really fresh sounds. And even if you're not into liquid drum and bass, you could use this for making house or even R&B, hip hop. So definitely encourage you guys to check that out if you're feeling the vibes on this one. And once again, notice here we have a bunch of MIDI files. So they provided all the notes. So we may want to play these chords with a completely different sound. So this is super useful, because with samples, you're just stuck with that sound, right? And if you don't chop it up, then you're going to be using a sample that other producers may be using, and you risk having a sample that someone has already used. Whereas MIDI files give you more flexibility. You can play them off, for example, a bell preset or a synth preset. So there's more control into making this your own. So I just dragged all these over here, and they're in sets of 5 in different keys. We got E minor, so we have 5 sets in E minor, 5 sets in F sharp minor, another 5 in F minor, and then finally in G minor. And they've done the same thing in the sub folder. So they provide exactly the same sets for each key. So I just pulled it over to each instrument here. So I have chords, bass, melody, and then they have some really great drum hits here. So their drum one shots are great. Really, I like the snares mostly. They even have ghost snares here. So I just made a quick beat here. Let me just solo the drum rack. So we can cycle through the kicks. That's a nice kick. That's tight. I like that. Okay. And we can go through the snares, right? I like that one. And then they have these ghost snares, which is quite handy. So I'm just using. So the ghost snares we place in between the 16th note positions to get that shuffle. And I tend to take these notes and I shift it over a little, so you kind of humanize it so it's off the grid, right? Some claps here. We can maybe put a clap at the end of the phrase like that. The clap's a bit loud, so we can bring it down. we can maybe even move the clap here. And then maybe shift it off just so it's offbeat a little, so it sounds a little bit different from the second hit. I like doing that sometimes. You can even shorten the clap. Let me just solo this clap here, this guy. So in Ableton, there's different sampler modes, right? So if we're in one shot, it plays the entire sample, but you may only want it to play as long as you play the note. For example, I have the note just playing almost a 30-second note here. If you wanted to honor that, then choose classic mode and just bring release down. So then it only plays till the end of that note, right? And you can use this quite intuitively. You can play a really short note, right? Notice how short that is. Let me mute the hi-hat. So I'm playing really short notes. Remember, change it to classic mode. Bring your release all the way down, right? And then you can slowly increase the release, right? Watch what happens. It opens up. So you can tune it to your liking. So you might want it nice and tight like that. And let's bring that snare back. Now I'm thinking we could have a tighter snare. So we could shape that snare a little too. Another way to shape it, just move the sample endpoint. And then just add a fade. I think I'm going to bring that snare down a little. All right. And I just have a basic hi-hat running through it. If you want to add a little more funk to your hi-hats, you can alternate, right? Maybe put this here. So every time the kick hits, I'm using a different hi-hat. You can also do that. Change the hi-hat when the snare hits. So on the 2 and 4. You can also switch this one. When you change hi-hats, it makes it sound a little groovier. All right, we got a beat. Let's see if we have any, if there's any shuffles or little shakers we can use in this pack. Yeah, like that. We can layer that over. So pull that over. Little loops like that is helpful. Adds a little bit of funk to it. All right, so we have a beat that's good. Now this shaker is a bit groovier, and we have some other sounds that are a bit off because I've moved certain things off the grid. It sounds a bit off. I'm just gonna try here. I'm gonna duplicate this. Try moving everything on the grid. That seems to go better with the shakers here. All right, so let's check out these Midi chords. So I got this I have this piano patch on Pigments. Hopefully Pigments behaves this time. I just updated to the official release. So this is a patch on Pigments. And let's check out some of these MIDI chords. Let's go through a bunch. Wow, that's beautiful. I don't think we have to go any further. Those are beautiful chords. Okay, let's check this clip. Those are nice. This reminds me of my buddy Polaris, his type of chords. Speaking of Polaris, I have a video coming out from Polaris coming soon on my channel, so make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also make sure to subscribe to ADSR. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do and like this video if you want to see more videos like these. Oh, these are all so good. There's something about playing it with a fresh instrument as opposed to a sample. Let me know if there's any favorites, guys. The first one I thought was really good. That's nice. Let's go back to that first one. That's so nice. All right, let's go with this first one. That's so good. Okay, now let's check out the bass. I think these go with each chord, so there's a corresponding bass patch for each chord here. Now, my bass sound is on the wrong octave for these sounds, so let me just shift it up. That's sounding great. Let's check out some other bass sounds with this. So I'm using the liquid rolling preset from my gnarly serum preset pack, if you guys are interested. But I have some other liquid ones in this pack we can check out. That doesn't sound right. I think this one was the best one. I have macros here which allow you to quickly adjust the bass here. Alright, that's sounding good. Let's keep going. So we have some melodies here. Let's check these out. I think we need more of a bell sound for this. So let's something more celestial. See what we got. Whoa. Let's try this one. Okay, let's keep going. Cool. I like this one. All right, I now have a vocal sample which I pulled from the 7 Sounds Vocal Hooks pack, which we spoke about earlier. Let's see if it works with this. Let me pull the dry version of this vocal, and then we're going to use the Noiseash Vocal Finalizer to process the vocals so we can give it our own touch. So here's the vocal pack. So there's some vocals. I use the wet one here. Let's look for the dry version. So vocal loop 94. Here it is. So this is at 94 beats per minute. So to make it match our beat, we just got to make sure it is either 94 or double it, which is 188. And it certainly is, so perfect. Bring the volume or gain up. So this is dry. All right, so let's pull in Vocal Finalizer and let's process this a little bit.
You know.
All right, so we have a compressor. Let's use it stage by stage. So I'm going to turn off each effect here, and we'll go one by one.
You know. You know. I love you. I love you. You know.
Now they make it easy to use for the end user. So the compressor only has a couple parameters: the intensity of the compressor, and then you have a soft, medium, and hard type. So all the other standard parameters such as threshold, ratio, attack and release has been determined for you based on your source material. So you don't have to think too much. You just turn this knob and you get a result.
You know. I love you. I love you. You know.
Okay, same thing with the EQ. They just have two parameters, body or brightness. So let me just reset this. Body would be the lower mids.
You know. I love you.
And there's different EQ types or modeling. So you can use this and try different modeling here.
You know. I love you. I love you. You know.
Oh, of course I have to turn the effect on first. Silly me. Okay, let's start that over again.
You know. I love you. I
Okay,
love
so that's pushing the vocal a little more with the compressor. Let's go for a medium.
you. Know. I love you. I love you. You know. I love
Okay, let's try the EQ again. So let's add body.
you. Know. I love you. I love you. You know.
What helps is there's a spectroscope here, so you can see what's happening with your vocal.
You know.
So notice when I push the body, the mids around 0.5 to 1K is increased.
You know. I love you.
So it makes it sound warmer. So let's add some brightness.
You know. I love
So brightness adds air to the mix, opens up the vocal.
you. Know. I love you. I love
Now let's try the different modeling here.
you. Know. I love you. I love you. Know. You know.
Okay, well, it's kind of subtle, so we'll just stick with this one.
You know.
There's a high pass, low pass here if you want to remove certain low end from the vocal, so that's handy.
You know. I love you. You know.
So we can remove usually around, I usually remove anywhere from 100 to 200 hertz from the vocal to allow room for like the pianos and pads to breathe. So high pass around 200 works. You can type it in if you want. Sometimes I like the frequency to match an actual key. So 220 is the key of A.
You know. I love you.
And we'll just shave the super high frequencies, usually around a little bit nice and full without reducing any harmonics that we want.
You know.
Let's try 15,000.
I love you. You know.
Yeah, that's good.
I love you.
Okay, they have a stereo width here if you want to widen the vocal.
You know. I love you.
I don't think it's really necessary
You
here.
know. You know. I love you. Know.
The de-esser just removes any sibilances like your S's, but this vocal seems to be pretty good, so I don't think we have to worry too much here. If you hit the wrench icon, then there's other parameters here for the de-esser.
You know. I love you. I love you.
There's a doubler to make the vocal sound like more like a chorusy effect.
You know. I love you. I love you.
Just one moment. My speaker has been set to mono because I was doing something the other day. That's why I can't hear the effects.
You know
There we go.
that I love you. I love you.
Actually, it's nice with a bit of stereo width.
You know that I love.
Let me turn off the doubler because that's confusing.
You know that I love you. I love you.
Yep. And let's bring that doubler back in.
You know that I love you. I love you. You know that I love you.
It's nice. It gives it a more of a stereo effect. It makes the vocal sound wider with the doubler.
You know that I love you. I love you.
Let's hear it before and after. So here's before.
You know that I love you. You know that I love you.
It's a bit wider, a little more present, and let's add some delay.
You know,
Want to remove the low frequencies from the delay.
you know that I love you. I love you. Know that I love you. I love you. You know that I love you. I love you. Know
Let's add reverb.
you know that I love you. I love you. You know.
That's a sweet reverb.
You know that I love you. I love
All right, let's put this over the beat.
you. Know that I love you. I love you. You know that I love you. I love you. Know.
Sometimes it helps to hear it over the actual mix of the track because if you're just doing it with the vocal solo, you have no reference point. And I noticed that the vocal sounded muddy, so I'm removing more of the low end using this high pass here.
You know that I love you. I love you. You know that I love you. I love you. You know that I love you. I love you. You know that I love you.
All right, so that is Vocal Finalizer. Let's check out the next plugin, which is the Stereo Finalizer. So we can pull this right into the master. Or actually, no, we should put this on maybe the chords. We'll just hear this on its own. Yeah, so it makes the piano sound wider. You can preview the wet only, which is helpful with this parameter. So the delay will determine how wide it sounds. So that's how they emulate a more stereo width. They take a signal on the left and right and delay each signal to make it sound wider, right? Let's bring the master back and then dial the mix in.
You know that I love you. I love you. You know that I love you. I love you. You know that I love you. I love you. You know that I love you.
All right, we got something that sounds pretty good. I'm going to pull this into the arrangement view. So copy all the clips. And I usually start building around either 33 or 49. It just gives me enough room to then build an intro. I lost my clips. Control Shift and I sends all your activated clips to a new scene, and then now you can copy the entire scene by going into master and clicking that master scene. Control C and then paste. With drum and bass, I typically work with 16 bar blocks. Of course, I always tend to have some change up in between at the 8 bar mark, but having 16 bars is typically the way to go in terms of arranging your track. All right, so then we can just drag this out. I'll just build a little skeleton of a track here. Typically, that's how I write songs. I have a skeleton of the foundation I want. Just makes writing easier. So here's the intro. So this is the main drop. Intro. I might just have a 32 bar intro, so I'll remove these guys here. This is your breakdown. Sometimes you might have a 32 bar breakdown depending on how much suspense you want to create. So you could call this main drop number 2 and take up the bass over here. Boom. Take out the maybe we'll keep the melody there. So intro, we just maybe take out the kick snares, bass lines.
You know that I love you, You know,
Oh, we didn't want the bass to come just yet.
you know that I love you, 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 you know that I love.
So what I'll do is when I have a vocal, I will interchange it with the lead. So it plays kind of like a call and response, or A, B, A, B. The vocal could be your A, and then the lead could be your B. So since I have this vocal at the pre-drop, I can take out the vocal here. So A, B, like that. And here's the lead. So interchange, right? And this is and here I can bring the vocal in like that. Okay, let's see if this works.
You know that I love you know that I love you.
Yes, does anyone want to win the Noiseash bundle?
You know,
If you guys are keen, then we'll let you know how to win.
you know,
Let me start over.
you know that I love you know
Here I take out the melody. Maybe bring the melody here. Now, when we get the second drop, you may want to change it up a little, make it a little more interesting. Instead of just cookie cutter, copy and paste, introduce a different pad sound for the chords. So I'm going to go in here and let's change up the chords at the second drop. Maybe we'll introduce a pad sound instead. All right, so we'll introduce that, and then we might even filter the piano in. So we can start the piano, just pull in whatever filter you choose, whether auto filter, or sometimes you could just use the EQ and filter it in like that way. So like this. Now this chord, I'm going to actually group these sounds together. And then I'm going to remove all the bottom end. Those chords have a lot of bass underneath. You want to maybe high cut it. And just bring this filter down. Okay.
You know that you know that I love you, you know that I love you, you know.
Now these pads maybe it could be played an octave up, and it's meant to be played by piano, so there might be certain keys that just doesn't work with the pad. You may have to remove, for example, the short note here, right?
You know
Kind of like it down there. Let's see if there's another instrument we can use. We'll come back to it. I do like this instrument, but perhaps there's something better. So that was Memory of You. Let's see what else we got. Whoa, too much.
you know you know that
That's kind of very epic, maybe.
you
Oh, it's not filtering my pads. Come on, show me pads.
you know you know that you know that you know you know that I love you, you know that
I like how this washes through, almost like the ocean. Let's try this.
you know that
And I do like an octave down.
you know that I love you, know that you know
And this piano, we can filter it in after the drop. So maybe here.
you know that you know that I love you, know you know that I love
see a lot of emojis. That's great. Good luck to whoever's going to win. All right, we have a main arrangement here. Finally, let's check this out, the speaker simulator effect. So this is a megaphone, which is cool. This is how it would sound on this kind of thing. A more practical choice would be maybe like a phone here. Or like some headphones, right? It's nice. They have different presets. So there's Android. Is there iPhone? Oh. Don't see iPhone here. Car radio. Yeah, car radio tends to be bassy. So for example, in a car system, it's super bassy. So maybe that's an indicator to bring down the bass a little. So I'll go on the bass, bring down the level down a bit. And we can actually hear that kick is very heavy. So we may want to tune the kick a little, right? So we could bring in an EQ here. And I'll use a softer slope. I don't want to remove all the low frequencies because you want to kick to have beef, but maybe when you want to tame it a little, around 60 hertz is nice, and we might want a little bump here. Okay, and then once you make your revisions, then make sure you go back to the full mode. Make sure you're not totally off. So turn off speaker simulator. So that's a neat little tool to help you adjust the mix. If you're having trouble, especially on my system at home, I just tend to have too much bass on my tracks because it's hard to tell in my room how much is enough bass. So this is a great tool. Turn on, for example, the car mode, and you can hear, oh, it's actually overpowering with bass, so you can bring it down, right? And then just make sure it still sounds okay on your main mix. Now make sure to always reference against like a mastered track, something that you like that's professionally mastered, to make sure you always good to have different references when you're mixing down a track. So for example, we're doing a liquid track, maybe listen to a track by Lensman, shouts out to Lensman, and see if your mix holds up, and then go use the speaker simulator, test it on different systems. So let's check this from the top. Of course, there's more to this track. We might want to put effects and everything. This is just a quick arrangement. might start filtering the piano down from here. Filter the pianos out here at that. And that's a basic arrangement here. Once again, there's more to this than that. If you were to finish the song, you would put little edits, drum fills, effect sounds, and other atmospheric sounds to kind of fill the palette here. But you have a basic arrangement here, which you can then easily polish up. So yeah, lots of fun using these MIDI clips to build a song because you can customize the sounds and use it your own way. Of course, it's not just because it's a drum and bass pack. Don't think you can only use it for drum and bass. Try it for other tempos and genres, right? Do cross kind of fusion of the styles. All right, shouts out to I think, is it James Murley? You won the pack, so shouts out to him. Or did we have 3 winners today? It looks like I was so into the track, I was not paying attention in the live chat. So shouts out to everyone who won the prize. Oh, the winner is Yuki York. My apologies, but yes, we just have 1 winner for the prize today. Congrats to Yuki York for winning the Noiseash bundle. Contact stores at ADSRsounds.com to redeem your prize. So once again, we are giving out prizes pretty much every week on this show, and there are a couple shows on this channel at ADSR. There's a show by Tatro as well as one by Brent March, and they have some awesome content on their show. So I encourage you guys to subscribe to ADSR and like this video to stay informed on the next video. Not to mention, you get great content and a chance to win prizes. So yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to go through in terms of today's show. So once again, we'll just pop back to the online shop here. So I was using the Audio London Liquid pack, which includes all of those MIDI clips. It's a Black Octopus pack, one of my favorite preset and sample providers. They make some great material, and this one's great because it has those MIDI files, which you can use for your own music. And then the vocal samples was from Vocal Hook Stars, all on the online shop at ADSR. And then Noiseash, this is a bundle containing 3 of their best presets: a Vocal Finalizer, which has a bunch of different vocal effects all in one; Stereo Finalizer, which adds some stereo width to your track or your mix; and Speaker Simulator, which is a nice mixing tool that you can use to cross-reference against your track on different systems to make sure, for example, is your bass too loud or is there too many highs, right? So that's a good tool. Some people actually use this as a creative tool. So, sometimes when you have a vocal track and you might want to make it sound like it's coming off a phone for like a bar, this is a great tool to do that with. So there's creative applications with this speaker similar tool as well. So yeah, I encourage you guys to check out these tools. Really fun and easy to use. You guys have any questions or comments? We're just approaching to the end of the show, so just want to open it up to any final comments or questions. Yeah, I don't think Ableton has scoring, but if you have an audio workstation which has scoring, like I think Cubase has scoring, I think Cakewalk is, if that's even still around, Logic I think has scoring. So I think pretty much any MIDI clip can be converted into scoring. It's just another view of the information, so I don't see why not. So if you're into scoring, which shouts out to you if you have that musical training. Wish I did. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can access it through the MIDI score view of your audio workstation. The Abbey Road Studios has monitor simulation. That's cool. Good to know. I know Abbey Roads produces some good presets as well. Cool. Any other questions or comments? Drunk Bishop, how do I bend automations? Quite easily. So you have breakpoints and then you hold Alt and then hover over the curve, then click and drag up or down. Really easy. Now, this is awesome with the new recent version of Ableton. You can right click on the graph and notice on the bottom here, there's these different shapes. So maybe you can, first select the area and then you can select maybe like a sine wave, right? So you can now create a sine, which is really cool. Or you can create something like a exponential curve. Really cool, because now you don't have to, because sometimes I want this kind of exponential curve. Sometimes we call it the shark fin shape, and you can easily access that just by right clicking. Well, select the area you want with the shape and then right click and choose the shape, right? Very useful. Yeah, so, but if you want to randomly create curves, once again, it's just holding Alt, click, and drag. And notice here, because I've chosen this sine wave shape, when I hold Alt, click, and no, that's not what I want. So if you have this curve shape, you can increase the extremity of this curve, which is quite nice, by holding Alt, click, and drag. Any other questions or comments? You're welcome, Drunk Bishop. Well, if there aren't any other questions, I just want to thank everyone for watching today. And remember, we have a production challenge on ADSR every, I think it's every week. And you can join the Discord community in the live chat if you want more details on that. You can chat with the team there. Yeah, so once again, we do shows here every week. We got shows Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday. So yeah, great channel to be part of, and always thankful for the ADSR family for having me on. Shouts out to the rest of the content creators, Tatro, Brent March, what's up? And once again, my name is STRANJAH. If you haven't followed my channel yet, you can look me up on YouTube. I do music production tutorials every week as well, geared around bass music, drum and bass. And yeah, follow me on all your social media. Make sure you hit subscribe on ADSR, like this video, stay updated on our future videos. And glad you enjoyed the chilled out liquid vibes. I hope you guys have a good time in the studio. Stay safe, stay creative, have a great weekend, and I'll see you at the next video. Peace.